So I want to start off by kind of re-establishing what the problem is. And I guess, Mrs. Fisher, I'd go to you since you're the senior Department of Justice official here. How many perpetrators do we think there are in the country that engage in child pornography and preying on children for pornographic purposes? Does the Department of Justice have an estimate of that?
I don't have an estimate with me, but it's hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. Mr. Swecker, as the FBI senior person, would you agree with that?
I would. It's very difficult. I mean, there are different categories, if you will, possessors versus people who are actually producing and abusing the children. So there's different, as you well know, there are different categories, but there are a lot of them out there, and I think
you wouldn't disagree with the order of magnitude?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Do we know how many, do we have an estimate of the number of commercial child pornographic sites there are on the internet on any given day? Anybody?
I don't know that there's a way to determine with certainty a number like that. I did a simple Google search on some terms that I know, and I had 130,000 hits.
130,000.
Right. And that was on one search term. Okay.
So we have hundreds of thousands of potential, if not actual, predators. We have hundreds of thousands of commercial sites. What's our estimate on number of victims, then, the actual children themselves, based on that? Would that also be in the hundreds of thousands, the millions, the tens of thousands? Just kind of a general order of magnitude. What would it be?
Certainly, would have to be in the hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of
because every time we arrest someone, there's more than one victim.
Okay. Now, at our previous hearing, one of our witnesses, from law enforcement, made the point that I thought was rather telling, that this wasn't just a law enforcement problem. And I agree with that. I mean, with this kind of an order of magnitude, we cannot ask a handful of federal officials and backed up by state and local. I mean, this is a huge problem. And my first question, and I'll direct this to Mrs. Fisher, given the order of magnitude, when I look at the number of officials at the Department of Justice and the number of agents at the FBI that are dedicated to this problem, it's in the dozens at DOJ, and at the FBI, it's several hundred. What does the Congress need to do to significantly increase the personnel and the financial resources that are being dedicated to tracking this problem? I have no doubt that everybody that is assigned is absolutely committed to bring to justice these fiends, but I'm a little puzzled as to why, given the order of magnitude that we all understand in general terms, there hasn't been a huge request to put more agents, more prosecutors, more resources into combating the problem. We're fighting a forest fire, with a can of aerosol spray or something. Is it a congressional problem that we're unwilling to work to increase the resources, or is it there's so many other problems that you just don't feel like you can put more resources into it?
I think you could always put more resources to attack this problem. One of the things that we've tried to do in the Department of Justice, and I will let the FBI follow me because I know that they put a great deal of resources on this. We use all 94 of our U.S. Attorney's offices to prosecute this. Second, the Attorney General himself have told the prosecutors and told the U.S. attorneys this is a priority. Third, we have this new initiative called Project Safe Childhood. And what that does is it makes us link up with the state and locals who also have resources to prosecute these crimes, to train them, to give them money to prosecute. I think $14 million is going out to ICACs this year,
Well,
and to enhance community awareness. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do to address the problem, sir.
yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. The young man who was the primary witness at the last hearing who had been sexually abused indicated that the website that he was operating, his one website, if I understand, that one website took in $1 million a month. We estimate that the national take on child pornography in the United States through the internet is upwards of $20 billion a year. $20 billion. And we're talking about a $14 million upgrade. A million, 1,000 million is a billion. I think the Congress will work with the administration to find a way, instead of having a couple of hundred FBI agents, a dozen or so specialists at DOJ, or even so, let's put thousands. If we're serious about this, let's put some real muscle. And again, I am not negative on what you're doing. But if I've got to put out a major forest fire, I don't send one firefighter, no matter how good he is. I mobilize the entire operation. Now, my next